Perfect. Okay, so today's call, I'm just going to start, Daria, if that's cool with you. Yeah? Okay, so today's call, we're going to talk about, really quickly, if you guys can all just make sure you mute yourselves. I don't think I can do that for you. So just make sure you mute yourself so there's no background noise, and that way we don't have that. But feel free to also unmute and ask questions at any point. We don't mind that at all. And I'm going to leave my chat off for the time being while I'm talking. Otherwise, I get distracted and it's like squirrel, so that whole consistency thing I got to stick with here. All right, so I'm starting off talking about consistency today. And to be totally honest, when I first saw this topic as the for the call today, I was totally like, nope, that's not me. Nope, I can't do that. And then I thought to myself, I was like, you know what, actually, I think I might be the perfect person to talk about this. And the reason is not because I've been consistent day in and day out. It's because I've gone back and forth between consistency and non-consistency, or inconsistency. And so, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about me and how my journey as a coach has kind of come to where I am now. I've actually been a coach for 4.5 years. And, when I look around other coaches who have been doing this for 4.5 years, I see coaches who are 12, 15 star diamond. And then here I am at a lifetime 1-star, right? Which, sometimes can get into your head and can mess with you a little bit. But at the same time, it's like, I just know that I am where I'm at in my journey for a reason. And so I keep my blinders on, right? So basically, I just want to say it's okay if you're not an instant success. It's okay if you don't go 5-star in the first year that you're a coach. It really is, because your journey is going to be different than everybody else's. And the people that connect with you won't connect with those people who are, boom, like instant successes. So I hope that you all grow your business quickly and steadily and strong and sturdy. But, if it doesn't happen that way, don't beat yourself up, okay? So, I really didn't think I'd be good, but let me tell you how I started. So it was back in April of 2012 whenever I joined, and I started off pretty strong. I, for the first couple of months, went, balls to the wall and really just kept going and pushing, and really feel like I could have continued that upward growth. But then I started falling off on consistency. I got pregnant. I was tired. I wasn't doing the workouts. I wasn't drinking my shake because I was really sick. And then, so that inconsistency in those habits made me think, well, I don't know who else would be inspired by me if I'm not actually doing it, right? So I kind of fell off the wagon. Fast forward to about 8 months after I had my son, and I decided, you know what, I feel like I should give this a try again. I need the consistency in my life as well, and the accountability. So why don't I try this again? So I started posting. It was January of 2014. Started posting consistently for, the month of January. And, I didn't really see any traction. And so I kind of fell off. And I was like, well, maybe this just isn't for me. And I was like, no, but I really like this. So, that entire year from January until August, I really dabbled. I'd be consistent for a month and then I'd fall off because I didn't see any success. I didn't see anything. And then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to give this another shot. And I'd be consistent for 2 months and I wouldn't get anything. I might get a little, I might get a couple. I might hit Success Club. I might do this, get a couple of challenge packs in there, here and there. But, I kind of dabble. And then finally, it was in August of 2014 when I decided, I was no longer in love with my day job, which I was. It was my dream job once. And it just became a nightmare more than a dream. And so I said, you know what? I really think I need to give this a try. I need to push this. I have this golden opportunity sitting in my lap. I need to make this happen. So I was consistent. I posted my workouts, I posted my shakes, I posted daily about what I was doing, about, how Beachbody has impacted my lifestyle. And, it really kind of comes down to that I didn't give up. I decided I'm going to stay consistent regardless because, well, one, that's what Melanie said I needed to do. And I said, okay, well, whatever, she's doing pretty good now. When I first joined with her though, she was just a normal person. She was just a normal coach. And I don't even think she had hit diamond yet, so it's been that long. And I watched her grow and I'm like, well, she says I should do it, then I should do it. So I stayed consistent. I posted, let me tell you this. So August of 2014, and I honestly can't even go back and tell you what the numbers were for Success Club or not Success Club, but I think I got like 4 in August. I maybe got 0 in September. I got 2 in October. It was very low. And I don't even know that I hit Success Club those first 4 months. So August, September, October was the end of August. So September, October, November, December. I think I might have hit Success Club in December of 2014. And I'm sorry, 2014. And, but I stayed consistent. I was posting, I was doing this and doing that. And then finally, 4 months later is when January hit. Of course, January is a big month, but I hit 10 and I was like, ooh, that felt good. Let's keep being consistent. Let's do that again. So February came, I hit 10 again. And I did it the entire year until, I made a mistake in October, but we all learn things. So, but I kept doing it. And the point is, it took me 3 to 4 months to really gain any sort of traction again. And I thought about this and I thought, why did it take me so long? Because some people hear that and they think, you mean I have to sit here and do this for 4 months and not get anything out of this? No, the reason I had to do that was because I had wavered in my consistency. I was consistent and then I wasn't. So people wanted to see, is she for real this time? Is she going to stick around or is she just going to fall off again? So it took me longer to gain it back. So that's really the point in this whole story. Had I stayed consistent from the beginning, from the very, very beginning, I would have continued on an upward, like a steady upward climb. But because I fell off, I had to start down lower than where I was before. And then I had to start that climb again. And then I had to start down lower when I wavered again. So the point is that you really just need to stay consistent in that. Day in and day out. It doesn't matter. Honestly, yeah, you're striving to hit Success Club. You're striving to grow your business. You're striving to add coaches. But let's just be honest. Is it the end of the world if you don't hit Success Club? No. But it feels really good when you hit your goals, right? So you need to stay consistent in that, and you need to continue pushing even when you're not seeing the results. Now, I'm going to jump back into my story a little bit because I want to kind of take this consistency and talk about how you need to be consistent and what you need to be consistent in doing. Because, so I was on a nice steady incline. My why had totally changed. My dad passed away from cancer. And to me, that was something that really hit home. And I knew that I wanted to continue growing and doing, because eventually I wanted to be able to leave my full-time job so that I could stay home with my family and be a little bit more flexible in seeing them. Because I didn't spend enough time with my dad before he passed away. I don't think anybody really ever feels like they have had enough time with someone when that happens. So for me, my why changed, and I stayed consistent, but then I had to take a new job. And that new job was hell. I mean, it literally just sucked the life out of me. And so while I was staying consistent in my posts, I was still posting 3 to 5 times a day on Facebook. I was still running challenge groups. I was still doing, well, let's just be honest, I was not still doing my coach trainings, my monthly trainings. So I was kind of going through the motions of being consistent, but my message was not consistent. People could see in my photos that I was tired, that I was drained, that I wasn't happy. And it wasn't because, I feel like had I shifted my posts a little bit and made them more realistic to what was happening in my life at the time, I think that might have actually benefited me, and I probably wouldn't have taken a little bit of a dip down. So what do you need to be consistent with? Well, one, obviously you need to stay consistent with your posting on social media, on whatever forms of social media you currently use. So if you're using Facebook, Instagram, whatever they are, make sure you're posting consistently on those. And you want to show a little bit of variety in everything. You want to make sure that you are showing that you're doing it too, and not just going through the motions, not just working out because you have to work out, because it makes you feel good. Posting about your shape and how it helps you and how it makes you feel good. Posting about your challenge groups, continuously having your challenge groups. And even when you don't feel like running that coach training because nobody is participating in the current one that you have, doesn't matter. You do it anyways. You stay consistent. You do your coach trainings every single month. You do your sneak peeks every single month. Doesn't matter if nobody joins your sneak peek. Who cares? Nobody else is going to know that nobody wasn't in there, right? I mean, it's just going to be the people that are in there that are going to know. And hey, for that matter, throw in a couple of your current coaches. Nobody will know, right? Just continue doing them. And challenge groups are even more important. Don't just say, oh, I'm not going to run a challenge group today because I am really busy and I just don't have the time. Continue to do your challenge groups every single month. Why? Because those people that are watching you silently on Facebook are going to finally come around and be like, this is the 5th time she's done this coach sneak peek, and I'm really curious what the heck she's talking about. So I'm just going to finally jump in and do it. So, it's those people and that consistency that's going to actually get people to start following you and really start watching you and really continue to take interest in what you're doing. Obviously, you want to be checking in with your groups. I know that this is going to tie in a little bit to what Daria is going to talk about. You want to consistently interact with your groups. And I know that whenever I was, kind of in that job that I hated, I wasn't actively participating with my challenge groups. I was scheduling my daily posts. I'd check in, I'd like some things, but I never commented. I wasn't actually interacting with people. So why wasn't I recruiting? Because I wasn't interacting. I wasn't building strong challengers who would then become strong coaches. So make sure you're checking in with your groups. And Daria's going to talk a lot more about that whenever she talks about recruiting in a little bit. But you have to interact. Honestly, like you guys, some of you can do a show of hands because I know you're not driving or whatever. But if you are driving, don't raise your hand. How many of you have actually recruited a lot of people just because they want to be in the business opportunity? Has your recruiting been through your challenge groups? Yes? Yeah. I mean, that's where the majority of coaches come from. And again, I know I don't want to continue on that, but so staying active and staying consistent with your challenge groups and posting in there your own progress as well is super important. And then let's see, I wrote a list, so I tried to stay so I'm not rambling. I told Daria to tell me if I'm rambling, so I'm trying to make sure I got everything on my list. Okay, so obviously the 4 vitals is another thing that you want to make sure that you're consistent with. Like for example, today I worked out already. I've already had my shake. I've already done my personal development, and I've already done my invites. Boom, they're done for the day. Now, if I don't get a single other thing done today, I'm still considering today being consistent because I'm following those 4 things, those 4 key things that, the corporate Team Beachbody says are important, that every top coach says are important. I followed those, so therefore today is a win. And then the last thing that I really want to touch on is the content of your posts and your message. So the reason I think this is important, and I need you to understand why consistency is important in this, because again, I touched a little bit on this when I was talking about how I was staying consistent in posting, but my message and the content of my post was not lining up with what I was actually doing. people could see right through the bull, right? They see through it all. They know that your life isn't as perfect as you might make it seem. So that's why it's important to post about the bad times too. You know, I post about my kid throwing a fit. I posted a video the other day. I went live because he was throwing a fit. I have no clue why. But you know what? That's real. And to me, that's what's happening in my daily life. So I want to make sure I stay consistent in that and showing people that I'm real and that's what I do, right? I mean, if you're having a bad day, no, I probably wouldn't go post a whole bunch of negativity on your page. Post about how you're feeling crappy, but then post about how you're going to do something to change it. But make sure it's consistent with what you normally would say or do. You don't want to go and be like, my life is perfect. And then half the people that you're friends with on Facebook know that your dog just died. You know, I mean, you have to stay consistent and be real because people will see through it. So I think that was everything on my list of things. Does anybody have any questions? We'll take if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to look at the chat. I don't know that anybody has anything, but if anybody does, feel free to unmute and ask questions. But if not, then Daria can take over on recruiting. No? Okay. All you, Daria.
Okay, can you see this? Can you see my PowerPoint? Yeah? Okay, good. All right. I wasn't getting anybody talking. All right, guys. So I'm Daria Nettleton. I am a lifetime diamond coach, and I actually started my coaching journey in August of 2014. I came on board, but I was one of those people that actually waited 6 months to switch coaches because I wasn't completely aware of the coaching. I found out about the coaching discount late. I had been buying all this product from my coach who really wasn't transparent. I found out about it late, but then I really didn't understand what this coaching opportunity was. And I had been doing P90X like a long time ago. So I had canceled with that person a long time ago. But then when I went to go resign, I was still aligned to that person. So I had to wait. So I was one of those people that I knew that I wanted to do something, and I wanted to join one of Melanie's challenge groups. I didn't know that they even existed. And I found her, and she said that she let me so graciously come in with my P90X. I did have to buy Shakeology, but I couldn't buy it from her. So I bought it from my other coach, and I canceled with him. And then 6 months, I paid full price for Shakeology while I waited and while I did challenge groups with Melanie. And I was just so impressed with the format because I honestly went into it to do the challenge group just to try to do something different. I was running and doing all these other things, and I had a lot of grief in my life, and I was trying to kind of get through it, but I wasn't progressing in my health and fitness journey. So I wanted to try a challenge group. I had P90X on my shelf, so I took it. She let me into a group, and I loved the format. So really, I didn't go into it to be a coach. I was thinking I was going to sign up and get the discount again, and it all would be good with the world. And I really loved to do challenge groups. But over that 6 months, I kept seeing Melanie's coaching opportunity calls and things, and I realized that this person was really making an income. And like me, she had a degree and was doing something else for a career, and actually made this her career. And I really loved the interaction in the challenge groups. So I knew when it came August, I had been posting already. I was posting my workouts and everything, but people were asking me to join groups, and I wasn't a coach. I had to wait. So come August, I came out swinging. So I was able to fill a challenge group pretty quickly. I went Emerald like just about immediately. And I was looking at my vision board. I set up a dream board in August there, and I had wanted to become a diamond coach by March of 2015. And I actually became a diamond November of 2014. So just, pretty quickly, I would say pretty quickly, but, I was one of those people that went into Melanie's push to diamond group, and I don't know, I need to hear things several times or something because I didn't make it the first time. I thought I was going to make it, in September, and it didn't happen. And then I thought I was going to make it in October, and it didn't happen. And then I really got serious for November, and I made it happen. But I just so you know, sometimes it doesn't go the path that you want. I've been a diamond coach since then. I have definitely gone through what many people go through, which is dropping rank from time to time. I try not to make that happen or leave my rank dropped for very long. Usually within a week or two, I'm able to correct that. But that speaks to the consistency of your business too, and making sure that you're continuing those 4 vital behaviors. You're inviting, you're adding. I mean, sometimes, in my corporate career, and I'm going to just give you a little heads up on that I was in human resources. I'm an HR leader for 20 years in mergers and acquisitions, 20 plus actually. And it was kind of a place that I ended up in, not that I really chose to do for human resources. I really loved doing my HR job, but as the years progressed, I kept getting into these merger acquisition modes. As you know, many companies lay off people and that kind of thing. And basically I became the queen of this, laying off hundreds of people, and every quarter there was a new layoff. And I just got sick of it. From business to business, that just seemed to be what I ended up, I was good at it, and I ended up specializing in it. But it's really, talk about soul-sucking job. It's not great to change people's lives by telling them they don't have a job anymore. So I really enjoyed changing people's lives through challenge groups and sharing what it was that I did. And really, I left my corporate job in July of this year and never looked back. And it's funny because people ask me all the time, like, look for another job. And I'm like, this is my job. I'm like, this is it for me. So I'm living life by design. I'm living, not just surviving. And I'm going to talk more about that in how we form, right? And how you build your tribe, because it is about consistency, but it's also about getting people involved. So in terms of recruiting, really, if you look in your challenge groups, you want to form and find that talent and see how those challengers are doing, and how are your challenge groups doing? Are they engaging? Is there activity? Are you going in there and are you making sure that you're getting a workout in your Shakeology? Are you sharing and not just posting the daily post of the day? Who's standing out in those groups? Because those people could be your future coaches. You want to reward those behavior, recognize and reward those behaviors. It feels good to get a compliment. Well, it feels great as a challenger, because I know, because Melanie did it for me, to tell you you're doing a great job and I love your post. And, those are coach behaviors when people actually have the guts to post a sweaty selfie. That's a coach behavior. When they're sharing what's working for them, or they're sharing a recipe, all coach behaviors. But you want to definitely reward them and recognize them. I have certainly taken those types of people and asked them, hey, listen, I love your motivation. I have another group that you could really help me to motivate, because maybe it's a little bit thin. Would you mind if you continue and I add you in this group? Because maybe they're not quite ready to be a coach, or they're not quite sure, and I want to kind of keep their confidence up. So I plant them in those groups and help them to keep it going. And, it can really change the entire atmosphere of a group to have like one positive person in it that's like really engaged. Asking them to share meals and post what's working for them, and just making sure, even asking them. So we all have things go on in our lives, right? And I got to tell you, coaching is not an island. You have got to reach out to your support. That's why we sometimes run groups together. Or, you have something that happens in your life. You have a loved one die. People are sick, chronic illness. I certainly have that going on right now in my life. And I can't publicly post about it at all. So what I do instead is, oh geez, I'm messing things up here. Sorry, guys. That's what happens when you have an Apple and then you swipe, and I gotta get it there. All right, I'm back. All right, so sorry, damn you, Apple. But I ask my challengers, hey, listen, I've got something going on personally. Can you please check in on the group? Make sure that things are going on in there. Make sure that people are posting. Keep them encouraged and like their posts, and engage with them. That people get like totally a charge out of that. It feels good to feel like they're trusted, and that you see their actions and you want that to keep going and growing. So leverage that help. And also, if you have 1 or 2 people in a challenge group, join up with another coach. reach out to the dream team. I mean, you want to make those challenge groups really good, because you're going to cultivate coaches out of there. You're going to cultivate your people out of there. And if they're having fun and a good time and engaged in a challenge group, they're going to want to keep doing these groups, and they're going to see how it's like a team effort in order to do it. You're not just going to throw them out there and say, good luck with your challenge group. You're actually going to invite them to do it with you, or you're going to help them. You know, I know when I, again, was working full time, you know, I'd say to Melanie, oh my God, I only have like 1 or 2 people. I don't have time to set this group up. She would let me invite my people into her group. I'd have to participate in the group, but she would let me do that to help me and give me a leg up. And that's what I do for my coaches too, because many of them are working full time and this isn't their full-time gig. So I'm going to help them so that they can develop those coaches. So how often are you personally inviting to a coaching opportunity? This is important. I follow a strategy. I have my calendar. I write my strategy out and I follow it, because I am a mush head and I will not remember that this week I need to be posting for my business opportunity. I hit Success Club. I'm launching my Core de Force event because I hit Success Club. And now I'm going to be posting this week right through to next about business opportunity. So posting something like this, I wasn't making a direct invite in this post, but I do want them to see this, that watching somebody else totally go for it can be incredibly upsetting to the person who spent a lifetime building a solid case for why themselves can't. Why not you? I just put that out there. I get to be home with my horses, my dogs. I get to be home for my kids because of my coaching opportunity, because I coach. So I'm not overtly saying or even inviting them, but I'm planting seeds here all week. I'm going to be planting seeds about the freedom that I have in my life and that they may want or desire. If somebody could please mute your phone, that would be great. So do you have a regular cadence of posting this for your coaching opportunity event? Just like you post for a challenge group, you want to have a regular scheduled cadence of this. And, how many times a week are you doing it? Because again, you don't want to saturate your news feed and invitations. You want to show your personality and stuff, but you do want to make sure you're showing that you're consistent with your workout, you're consistent with your nutrition, and hey, I love this lifestyle. This is why I coach, right? Also, those people, like I said, that you've been cultivating, are you reaching out to them personally, one-on-one? I mean, if you really do see somebody doing this, those are the people you want a one-on-one message and say, hey, I love your health and fitness post. I think this would be a great opportunity for you. You're doing great in the group. I also have done those direct one-on-one messages to people on my newsfeed that I see are doing other workouts and other things. And I've actually invited them to do my challenge groups and told them, hey, listen, I love what you're doing and you're so consistent. Would you mind trying a challenge group with me? Because I think that you would get something out of it and it would be great motivator for the people in my group. And P.S., I sell a challenge pack. I complimented somebody and then I got a potential future coach to come into a group. So, I mean, there's ways that you can see when you're looking in your news feed and see people that you can potentially cold, form these people as opposed to just people in your challenge group. There are people out there that you see that are inspiring to you, and maybe they just never were asked to try a group and they don't know what it is either, right? So you want to make sure that these people know that you care about their goals, that you're invested in helping them to get there, and that you support them. This is one that I've used before when I talked to my coaches about speaking to your ideal avatar. And we talked about, Nicole talked about that with consistency. We stop trying to reach everybody, okay? Because you're not speaking to everybody. You're speaking to your ideal avatar. Who is that? Who are you? Is it working moms? Is it niche weight loss? Is it, people like that want to niche weight loss? What the hell is that? That is, I want to slim my butt and thighs and I really care about my butt and thighs. There are people that just care about that. So, if that's you, then that's you, right? Those are the people you're talking to, Brazilian butt lift people, right? So your lifestyle, describe what it is in normal words, right? You're not going to beach body lingo it. You're going to describe in normal words. You're going to attract people that have a passion, right? So I would say for me, I was so tired of the corporate rat race. I knew there had to be something better for me out there. I was surprised to learn I could actually supplement and replace my income doing something I love. And I'm describing what that is. So I'm going to show you, and I will share this PowerPoint as well. this is my avatar, okay? This is what I picked as my avatar. It's Katie Holmes, but she's my avatar. She's like my spirit person. And I gave her a name, Deidre, right? And this is who she is. So when I make a post for Coaching Opportunity, I'm talking to this person. She works full-time. Her dream is to work a fitness business from home. She loves horses, dogs, and chickens like any animal. She has a belief and strives for quality of life. She wants to self-improve, loves fashion, makeup, sparkly things. If you see my post, you're going to see sparkly shit. That's just the bottom line. So I'm trying to attract my tribe, right? She wants a blueprint and tools. She's on fire. That's me. I am OCD. I need a blueprint. I need a system. I need format, right? So like this PowerPoint, that is comfort. That's happy for me. Okay. If you are that makes you happy, you're going to be attracted to me because I'm going to give you happy comfort feelings because I have structure, because I'm obsessed with structure, right? She's not afraid to be elbow deep in horse manure though, right? And getting glam for an event. Those are the types of things you're going to see in my posts. When I go to Beachbody events and I'm wearing a ball gown, because I get to wear a ball gown when I get to go to a Beachbody event, I love that. That is my element. When I'm putting on my fake lashes, I'm telling you about it. Does that have anything to do with health and fitness? It does not. But you know what? People that are attracted to that are going to be attracted to me and then they will want to work with me. People that are rejected by that are going to find another coach. I am so cool with that because I want to work with people that want to work with me, that we're speaking the same language. You can find a rock star coach that doesn't exactly match that and they love something else about you. Maybe they're obsessed with my organization skill or, the fact that I am crazy obsessed with dates and goals. That's okay too. You can speak and work with those people too. But it's like, you need to kind of get clear in your head, like, what is that person? Who are you talking to, right? You want to be the image and show why you love coaching, right? You want to be that image. I don't want you to post stock photos of somebody. Or you're on even someone on your team or challengers that you have a relationship. You don't want to post Chalene Johnson. You want to post you. You're attracting those people to you. You want to talk about your results, talk about why, and how has coaching helped you? Why do you bother to do this? Why are you taking these crazy selfies? What the hell's going on? You're doing it because it motivates you, because you want to motivate others. You're talking to them about what is happening right in your life. You complete a program. I want you to share those results, right? I want you to show what you've done, that you've actually completed. Are you guys seeing this? I'm sorry. That you completed a program, share the results positively or negatively. You're building trust. You want to build trust with them. Then they will want to talk to you, right? Because if you're telling them, I love every program, it's fantastic, that's bullshit, okay? I loved Country Heat, like it's my jam. I got certified to teach it, love it, right? Core de Force is coming up. I hate combat. I hate it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Core de Force. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share about it. Max 30 did amazing things to my body, but I hated it. Every morning I woke up, I was so damn sore. And you know what? I shared that with the people that I'm talking to. They trust me, right? So they're going to they know that they come to me, they're not going to get bullshit. They're going to get what I really think, whether I like it or hate it. But this builds trust with people. They're going to want to decide, that will help them to decide whether or not they want to join your tribe. And simple is fine. You don't have to do crazy complicated invitations. It's great. PicMonkey is my jam. I love PicMonkey. You don't have to learn PicMonkey in and out. You can keep it simple. You really can, in order to invite people, but you have to invite them as well. And I think I didn't put it in there, but invite in your challenge groups, invite on your page, invite in your challenge groups. You're running a challenge group. Why aren't you putting ads in your challenge group? Why aren't you asking people to join this coaching opportunity? They might need to see it several times before they actually pull the trigger or understand that this is really a thing. So invite them, reach out to them personally, or just putting it out in the challenge group. Hey, watch I want you to see my coaching opportunity call. You can log in, whether you're doing it via Facebook Live or whether you're inviting them to a Zoom call, whatever your vehicle, you should be doing this regularly. Your schedule regularly. Be consistent. Because then when they miss it and then they think that they have a horrible day at work here on October 19th and they're like hating their life and they're like, I effing hate this. I want something different. They're like, oh, hey, Daria is having a coaching opportunity on the 26th. I want to listen in on that. I want to learn more because I'm so fed up, right? It hits them. Sometimes it just hits them in the right way. You do, just like a challenge group post, you want to create urgency, right? So you want to set a deadline, ask them to join, talk about coming and joining this, making sure you're speaking about it to them publicly and privately. You're not bothering people. You are offering them an opportunity, an amazing opportunity. You know how many people this holiday season are going to go get some shitty part-time job to pay for Christmas presents, and you're going to help them make $500 this Christmas, okay? You can, this is a true actual, I mean, look at your back office. I mean, you can see what you make like in a month, right? So you're going to be able to help them to work from home while they're with their kids here. I put my kids to sleep and then I log in and I do my invites and I talk to people and do power hour and stuff like that. It's a real thing. You actually can help them make an income. You're not bothering people with this. You're educating them. I didn't know this was a real thing. I didn't know 2 years ago I would be sitting here as my full-time job doing this. No way. It's like dream come true land. And I didn't know that it was actually possible to actually do it and pull the trigger on something like this. So, you know, the more you put it out there, the more you're consistent, you're building credibility that this isn't some fly by night, right? Because when you lose your momentum, then people are like, oh, and then they go and look over here. Somebody else is very consistent. And, you know, if they're going to invest their money or even try something, they're going to do it with somebody that they see is doing this every day, especially in these next 3 months. They're absolutely critical for building your business and, you know, being consistent with your challenge groups. So give them a call to action, you know, ask them to do something, comment below, message me for the details. You know, why should they join now? What's going on? Or do they need to save money for the holidays? Is it going to be, you know, are you going to give them the best care? Are you going to help them, get them in training? Are they going to get world-class training? What are they going to get from you? What do you have to offer that another coach does not? Is it going to be, you know, without boundaries and no PowerPoints? I mean, what is it that speaks to you? Okay. Are there going to be a lot of PowerPoints and lots of blueprints? You know, I would go with that person. That's who I would go with. And also fill out your questionnaire. We talked about this a lot with questionnaires. With Wufoo, it's free. You can make, Google does one too. There's Google Forms or something. It makes it look professional when you ask somebody to fill out something. I say now, fill out my questionnaire. People like to fill out questionnaires. They don't like to fill out applications so much. I've learned they don't like to fill out applications. I've had a lot of questionnaires filled out lately, though, I have to tell you. So just switching that word around, how funny is that? Messaging them. You know, you've been posting, okay, we're power posting for like a week and a half about coaching opportunity. You start personally messaging people. Not sure if you saw my post about the coaching opportunity. You know what? I think that, you know, you'd be perfect to learn more about this. You know, of course they've seen it because you're posting regularly. You're consistent, right? So this is like just, you know, you have to have a call to action. And then, good Lord, people, follow up. Wholly follow up. Okay. How are you tracking? Is it paper, Excel? I mean, what are you doing? You know, maybe now's not the right time for them, but hey, next month, follow up with them, right? Because you're doing these every single month, right? So, but make sure that you're making a plan and that you're following up, because that's the death of you. When you have all these irons in the fire, right? And then you're not following up with people, big mistake, you know, because you're just leaving things out there. Let's see, Laura, love that. Attract who you want to work with. Yes, you got to attract who you want to work with, because otherwise it's painful. It's like pushing a rock up a hill. Okay. It's like if you don't match, but also that goes with you showing who you are, because if you're not showing who you are, then you're going to attract the wrong people. Or if you're inspired, it's fine to be inspired by other coaches' posts. But if you cut and paste like what they post, you're attracting them to this person, not who you are, and it's phony. And the followers that follow you will know it right away, and they will reject it. And then it also erodes away against your credibility. It's fine to cut and paste and then make it yours, you know, but don't cut and paste and it's yours, because it just it won't come off right at all. It's just not a good thing. But yeah, that consistency, following a strategy, that's something that literally took me 2 years to pound into my head. that I had to put that strategy out there. It was like taking medicine, that I had to follow it and post on it and make sure that I was doing it. Otherwise you lose the momentum. And then you're like, why is it so hard this month? And when you really take a gut check and look and say, okay, have I really been inviting? Have I really been doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And then you realize, no, you're not actually. It's like you have to be honest with yourself about what your goals are and what you want to do. But that's all from me. I don't know if anybody has any questions other than what we had in the chat, but we're happy to field any if you want to unmute. No. It's a lot of information, guys, but it's good stuff.
So I just wanted to tag on to what you were saying, Dari, about the whole copying and pasting of posts. I don't know if you were in the talk, but I don't even remember which talk it was at this point, but it really stuck with me about creating a secret group that you're the only person in, and you can share other coaches' posts to that group. So then when you're stuck and not being able to figure out something, you can go back through and be like, oh, that one really spoke to me. How can I make that my own? So that way you're not copying and posting the same exact content on the same exact day. You can go through just when you're stuck and be like, I liked the feel of it. I liked how they said that without specifically saying, join my challenge group. It was more I've really gotten a lot of good ideas for jabs throughout that. So, but that
sounds great.
Tag on to that. So you just, and just so you know, and I know that was the question. I was like, how do you create a group with yourself only in it? So I just created the group and put my husband in it. And then as soon as I created it, I did So.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you have to invite somebody, otherwise you can't create the group, right?
Or I'll put Laura in it and then delete her. I was like, hey, by the way, just
wait a minute, I was just in that group. I just got negged from the group. Yeah, so that's a good point, but it's the hardest. I think that being consistent, I think there's a lot of anxiety about inviting coaches. Inviting to challenge groups is something I think you get past, but inviting to the coaching opportunity for people they feel icky about it. And they feel like, I don't know, I think I get a lot of coaches that feel salesy about it. And I'm like, but why? I'm like, you're benefiting from this. Like when I looked at my, 1040 from last year and saw the income that I made, I'm like, it's nothing to laugh at. I'm like, this is a real thing, and you're helping people. And the benefit is that you get to make some money off of it. I'm like, what's wrong with that? So it's just funny that people are just hesitant to do that, to show that. And, the thing is that they don't, when you're talking to people about it, it's like, they can decide how to go with this opportunity, right? Whether it's discount coach or hobby coach, or if they're going to go all in. And I got to admit, over the past 2 years, I was all in, then I was a hobby coach, then I was a discount. I wasn't consistent, in my involvement from time to time. And then I finally got fed up at work, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, this is now all in. No joke. This is it for me. So now I am way more serious about it, and I could kick myself because, like you're saying about the consistency, I could have had that all along when I was working, but I don't know. It took a major event for me to just be like, okay, I have to be consistent about this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, I really think that to not feel salesy when you're approaching coaches, if you're consistent in your message and in your posting, people aren't going to see it as salesy. They may say, oh, she reached out to me about this, but they're going to say, but she really believes in this. I see her posting every single day, and she's got an okay life. So, maybe I should give this a shot. It makes it feel less salesy when you are consistent in your message.
Right.
So,
agreed.
So I feel like when these two topics first, I saw them first, I was like, how did those go together? But now, as the more and more I thought about it, they just really blend.
Right.
Challengers are challengers. You're going to get people, to join your challenge groups, but to join the coaching opportunity can be a little bit more difficult sometimes. So
absolutely.
Just maintaining that message is always good. So,
yeah.
All
right. Well, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day.